Welcome to the Creature Cast, the official Console Creatures podcast. I'm your host today, Steve Vegvari, but this is a very, very special episode because we're doing a crossover.
Crossover.
PlayStation generations.
Crossover.
Ooh. We got mad here. We got and lo and behold, Cord has managed to find his way out of the Turkish gulag he's been stuck in for the past few months. I am so delighted. He's freed, everyone. We found him.
He's got a bit of COVID though.
Got a little
As
bit of
one
COVID,
does.
yeah, as one does when you're
the
escaping
Turkish
from-
gulag. Yeah, the Turkish gulag will do that to
Well,
you.
no, we did. I did make an appearance, Matt, and I did do an
Mhm.
Astro review. You did it with us.
And Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes,
And
and
zero,
Horizon
yes,
Zero Dawn.
yeah. So every once in a while they open up the hatch, they let you get some sunlight onto your skin, maybe feed you a good meal, and then
I
they put you
definitely don't
right
get
back in.
sunlight. Like, let's be honest. I'm
like-
in a hockey rink most of the time.
It's like that groundhog. What's his name? Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney, yeah.
I was closer than I thought I'd be.
Punk rocker Phil, yeah.
Punk rocker Phil.
That sounds better.
Yeah,
Actually,
right?
your beard, goatee / mustache. Your mustache has grown in a little bit more than I think you almost.
Oh,
could
I'm
curl
letting
it.
it go. I'm
You
letting
can almost curl it a little bit.
it's getting there.
Mm.
I do some upkeep, but
It's
yeah.
looking good, bud. It's looking good.
It is looking good.
Thank you.
For the audio listeners, I
Check it out.
apologize.
YouTube.com.
Check it out. Yeah. Or head over to my Instagram where you can see it all in full. Yeah.
It's almost like you're building yourself a nice facial feature.
His
No?
whole face is a nice facial feature.
Aw.
I was trying to I was using the word build. We're talking about Lego.
That's
Why-
right.
why-
We
why does
are
that make
talking
sense?
about it. Yeah. We Cord, you set it up. I was about to knock it down. And I will right
Lego
now.
City Undercover.
That's right. Yeah. Lego Dimensions is back. No.
I like that
As-
game. I'm sorry.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Buddy. Me too. Gone but not forgotten.
Yes.
That's but no, we are here to talk all about Lego Horizon Adventures, the latest for PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch
And PC.
and PC. Worlds colliding here. We got Lego, you got Horizon. This is a very exciting one, not only for the PlayStation ecosystem, but now we're getting more people into the fold, more people exposed to the Horizon IP in new ways, new exciting ways. So we got together, and thanks to PlayStation, we got to play it in advance, go through it all. I'm excited to hear all of your thoughts. Court, I'm gonna tee it up over to you. As the papa of the gang here. Lego Horizons Adventures. What are your thoughts? How much time did you put into it? How long did it take you to beat it? Give me the top level.
So I beat it. I think I beat it before both of you.
Yes.
At
Least me. Yeah.
Same.
The day we got it, I said to my daughter, I'm like, oh, I've got this game. And she was like, okay. I'm like, but it's a Lego game. Usually when I say, oh, I got a game, she's like, okay, Dad, unless it's certain developers. She's like, I don't really care. I said it's a Lego game, and she helped me build the tall neck. So
Okay.
she understands what the tall neck is in the world, but she's never actually seen an Horizon game.
Mhm.
So we started playing it, and she was in it. The thing that I noticed right off the bat, it's not a traditional Lego game at all. One, there's difficulty settings. Most Lego games don't have difficulty settings. We played on story mode, but you can play, you can make the game hard. I went back just to try those different difficulty settings. It's hard enough, okay? Like, I could see Steve putting down the glasses. For a Lego game, it's very hard. If you put it to the hardest difficulty, for a Lego game, that is very hard. And that will fix some of my issues that I had with it when I was playing with my daughter.
Okay.
Because I did find most Lego games, you're building puzzles. There's a lot of puzzles.
Yeah.
This doesn't have it because they really do hearken to the gameplay mechanics of Horizon. You are doing combats. You are doing those cool things. I love how shooting an arrow through the fire makes it a fire arrow. Like, I love those little nuances that they put into the game. As a Horizon fan, I thought they did a phenomenal job putting Horizon in the Lego world. I think they did a very good job of that. Some of my issues that I had right off the bat was I felt there was a lot of nothing to do in between certain areas. Like, you go from one area and it was just like, yeah, it's beautiful, but you're just walking through and you're not really doing anything. I
Sure.
missed collecting studs. I kind of missed it. There's red bricks in there. Someone tell me, as someone that is one trophy away from platinuming this game, tell me what they do, because I don't know, because I can't figure it.
unlocks costumes, I believe.
So it doesn't really tell you that. So like as I'm playing, I'm just seeing. It's not like it shows you. Um, it is very good as someone who played the whole game on 2-player. The 2-player aspect of the game I thought was very well done. I thought it was fun. It's immersive. I actually like the fact that you can hit each other a lot. Like you can in other Lego games, but in this, it actually hinders you because it's not like a traditional Lego game where you just like hit the person and then like, hit them twice and they blow up. This one you do have a health bar. So if you're in a boss battle, which there are boss battles, you have to coordinate. So my daughter got to learn like, hey, stay on the outside if we're hunting. I did, as someone who loves Horizon, I hated the fact that we could hide in the grass, but there was no stealth. So what was the point of it? Um, that like I want to hear from other people, but like there's a lot of things I liked about it, there's a lot of things I didn't. But from the perception of my perspective from my daughter, who's 8 years old, she thought it was fantastic, and
Mhm.
actually liked the fact that it wasn't like all the other Lego games.
Right.
We started going down the path of like I'm sure when we were kids, like you watch a movie and you're like, oh, imagine the video game of this. She's like, well, what if they make a Lego game out of Pokemon or this and that instead of the traditional Lego games that we've been so used to? I like the fact that they took an IP that we're so used to this certain way they do it and did something different with it. They took
Sure.
it.
Yeah. No, I like that. Matt, how about yourself?
I thought it was all right. There were parts of it that I really liked. There were parts of it that I thought were just kind of there. Combat is easily my favorite part of the game. Like the fact that they kind of took what makes a core Horizon combat encounter and turned that into Lego, using the focus to scan the enemy for parts, hitting them in certain places to deal more damage or to render different attacks useless. Like the way that you like dismantle the monsters was really cool. I like that each one of the characters plays incredibly differently. All four of the main characters were, completely different from one another. It still makes me laugh, and like slight spoilers for playable characters, but I think this is something that they've talked about. Like the fact that Tirsa is a playable character over like Silence is just will never not make me laugh. Like she was such a random opt-in. Like
Yeah.
Aaron and Varl, I think make total sense. But again, like her kind of place in the narrative is funny. Like I like that they took the bones of Zero Dawn and they turned it into this wacky adventure where Aaron's main priority is finding donuts. Like there's parts of it that I really really liked. And similarly, I played almost the entire thing co-op with my wife. Again, not like a capital G gamer, but she'll hop into the thing here and there with me. But I think what really kind of left me wanting is the level design and Mother's Heart. I think the level design, largely speaking, is pretty boring. I think that a lot like I think the last Lego game that I like really put time into was like Lego Marvel's Adventures. And I remember that like the prison was different from the Baxter building, was different from this, was different from that. And like each level felt like its own thing.
Yep.
In Lego Horizon Adventures, all of the first area feels like just one long level because the environment doesn't change at all. They don't do anything much with it. Like once you get to a vault, every other vault will be the same thing. The desert, each level, like there's not really any variety.
Sorry, you mean the cauldrons, right?
The cauldrons, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just so I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I feel like they just it was always I'm gonna run here, I'm gonna do a bit of platforming, I'm gonna run some more, I'm gonna zip line into a combat encounter, I'm gonna run out of it, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna zip line, I'm gonna combat. Like it was never anything different than that. I think there are moments where we see something cool, like the tall neck encounters, I think are one of my favorite parts of the game, just because of how, again, they changed the formula. I don't need these games to be difficult, but I feel like that Lego magic was a bit missing here, where I feel like there were other Lego games that took this idea and then really got creative with level design. Here, I thought this was like, this is the forest world. All you're going to be doing is forest. All the only thing that's going on is this one thing. So I think like if you're coming into it with a younger player or with somebody who doesn't play games as much, there's a lot to be found here. And I think the combat is a lot of fun. I did have some like Ludo narrative breaks in my brain when like you're summoning like a hot dog cart in the world of Horizon to like toss hot dog bombs, and like I'm dressed up and like Aloy looks like.
Hey, the best weapon in the game though? It like literally,
it's awesome.
It's the best. Yeah,
it's awesome. And then like Aloy, just like Kiryu from Yakuza, pretty much, and like it's just like it's still her voice coming out. I really like the characterizations. I find that them in the main games are just too similar, too serious. So there's a lot of things that I really enjoyed about it, and I had fun. And then my other kind of major issue is just Mother's Heart. I find it kind of boring. I think it's like it's a diorama that you can snap pieces into without really doing much else, and you're made to run across the entire length of it every time you want to go to a new level.
Yeah, no fast travel.
There's no fast travel, so there's a bunch of stuff that like bug me that I think do take away from the experience. But like again, if you're coming into this for like a quick rip through Lego Horizon, like that is what this game is. It is nothing more, it is nothing less. You know, your mileage may vary in my opinion, but I think it's a good game. I just don't think it's great.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve? Where are you at?
I'm kind of right there with you. I think though I'm probably a little more sour than the two of you. I think this is a great Lego game. If you just strip all the IP away and you're just like, hey, this is how we're gonna make a formulaic Lego game. I think it's way more straightforward than say Skywalker Saga, which in my opinion was content overload. I was just going through that game. I was like, there's just so many things to do and see and interact with. It's just way too much. I like how reserved this is of just saying, you're going to go into this level. It's very streamlined. No real open world. It shows you literally where all the side stuff is. I kind of like that. I like how it's just trying to tell a story, getting you from point A to point B. And I think it really does a great job in doing that. It's also one of the most gorgeous Lego games ever created. I mean, like there's no reason why the Lego water should react the way it does. There's no reason why there should be foliage coming off of leaves and stuff like that. They're like from a graphical and performance perspective, this is an A+ in my opinion.
Same.
Where I can't really reconcile with this game is the horizonness of it all outside of the combat, because I agree with you, Matt. I think the combat in this game super engaging, even for someone like me, whether or not you play with the difficulty scale and go all the way easy or hard. I think that it gives you a lot of options to kind of tailor that experience to you, and I think it really does a good job of adopting a whole bunch of different mechanics, whether you're shooting bows, you're using the trip caster, you're messing around with the hot dog cart, or rush boots and stuff like that don't really exist in the Horizon universe. I think it's additive. Then we get to the story of this all, and I'm like, this is the most nonsensical adaptation of Horizon. And I understand, yeah, you want to invite a younger generation in, invite a generation who thinks the core Horizon series is too serious, and you're like, I want to throw a little more jokiness in there and everything. They did like my boy Varl dirty, Aaron is dirt, like everyone is just such a caricature of what they are in Horizon. I struggle to see how you go through this game and you're interested in finally playing Zero Dawn. Because to me, this is such a drastic shift from, say, even the Harry Potter series, which are, hey, we're going to do a little jokiness here, but we're telling you the story of Harry Potter 1 through 7 or something like that. Do
you think, though, they're really, like, I didn't get the sense after playing it with my daughter, who is the generation that they're, like, it is the...
Sure.
The 8 to 12-year-olds, this is who the game's for. I'm gonna say
absolutely,
it right off the bat. She didn't come out, like, she did watch me play Horizon on the PS5 Pro, and she was like, oh, that's the game. And I was like, you're not ready. Like, I right away as a parent was like, no, like, this is not for you. She might want to play it in the future.
Sure.
I don't think that's what this game is for. I think that if you look at what PlayStation has done, their games that they released, this is the second in a row that is a family-friendly game. They've been doing, Matt and I talked about this on the show. They have geared. I don't think that's what they're doing. They might be, based on the rumors and the pictures we've seen of this multiplayer game that looks cartoonish, it might be more of getting people to play that. I don't think they have any inkling of wanting people like the younger generation to play this and go, I want to go play Horizon Zero Dawn. I just the reason I say that, Steve, is because I agree with you. I don't think, because they make fun of Horizon a lot. Like Aloy makes fun of herself so much in this game. I just didn't get the sense that they were trying in any way, shape, or form to say, hey, if you like this, you should go play Horizon Zero Dawn.
See, I agree with you, Court, but with one kind of caveat, I think they're doing the exact opposite. I think they're playing on the Horizon fans to buy this because it's Horizon to then introduce to a younger audience. I don't think this is like an on-ramp into Zero Dawn. I think this is an off-ramp off of Horizon into Lego. I think it's more them using this as a way to be like, look, this is our family-friendly game for the holidays. You like Horizon, don't you? Here's something that at least feels familiar to somebody who has been playing PlayStation for X amount of years. And this is a way that you can play with somebody who's not into gaming, or this is a way, like everybody knows what Lego is. Here's a way for you to engage with the IP in a different way.
Especially because it's on Switch.
And I do agree with you,
sure.
Steve. I had a hard time with the juxtaposition of a lot of it. I have no real issue with the inherent silliness of the game, but I wish they grounded that silliness in the world of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Me too. Exactly.
My things breaks when there's, like DJ Silence as a concept is funny, but like the dance party is just such a random inclusion.
That's a Lego game thing, dude.
But that's what I'm saying.
So Cord, sorry, just to chime in, I don't think it is though, because it's
in the Star Wars, it's in the Harry Potter. They always do a disco thing. It's like a little Easter egg that you can get in, because I play them all. There's a red brick that you can get to make everybody turn into a disco party every game.
Yes, no, I agree, but I think this is such a departure for a Lego game where you're introduced. It would be like in Skywalker Saga, that's like, oh, here's Darth Vader, and he's just a silly guy. He's just a silly little DJ.
You can put a Christmas sweater on.
But this isn't Ken. This is Silence. Is just, he's not Silence.
No, I agree with you there. I get where you guys are coming. I'm just, and trust me, when I first started playing it, I'm trying to, and I do this with kids games. I look at through my daughter's eyes. She thought the dance party was great. She spent like 15 minutes just farting around in it. Like she popped that trophy, and I didn't have to even didn't even know it was one until she did it. Like it's just, that's all I'm saying.
I'm just very curious though, coming out of this, did your daughter get a story here? I don't know if there is one here.
I don't know if there is. Like, I know Hades is the bad guy, but I'm like, I only know that because I played the Horizon. I think what she got out of this, and this is truly what she wanted, Lego Horizon. Like, she was like, when are the toys coming out?
Sure.
Like, when can she go buy the Lego? Because that's, and Sony, if you're listening, that's literally what my daughter was thinking. She's like, okay, we have the tall neck. Because she didn't even know what this thing was when she put it together with me. After we played the game, she knows exactly what it is. And she actually agrees with both of you. Like, that tall neck scenes, those were her favorite. By far, to go on top of the tall neck. I think one thing that she really liked out of it is she got good at the combat for the first time in a video game in a really long time.
And that's great.
And that's really a good thing. I think this is geared way more to kids than any PlayStation game that ever has come out.
I think my issue with it is, like, I think you can do kids stuff and I think the Lego movie is a perfect example of this. Even Lego Batman, you can do silly kid stuff and still ground it in heart and in character.
I agree.
And this goes so far in the opposite direction that, like, I did parts of it made me laugh and parts of it I did enjoy. I just think that, like, it infantilizes it so much so to the point where there is no story, there is no heart to it. There's no.
I don't even know what the story was. I just know
that's what I'm saying.
You get Hades in the end.
So it's like, I think, like, what's the guy's name? Not Hades, the other dude, the cult leader.
I don't know. He's in the picture there on the right, but I don't know.
Yeah, regardless, I laughed every time that guy showed up on screen. I thought he was hilarious. I thought there's merit in all of this. I just think they go
that shadow card.
I just think they go too far in one direction.
I agree. But I do want to talk about.
I think it was really empty. It was just really empty for no reason. And I wanted to ask you guys this question because this is my thought process as playing it. Do you think some of the emptiness was because they had to put it on Switch and they had to simplify the game because it looks so darn good?
No, I personally, I find it just because it seems so formulaic. Of you go through Monster Closet to an open world, or not an open world, a more open exploration section, get to a Monster Closet, exploration, climbing, Monster Closet. It's so formulaic in its design that I don't think, again, because I like the more reserved nature of it, I didn't find myself irritated or let down by that up until I got to the end game where, Cord, you were talking about, I'm really close to getting to the platinum, and I started going through it. I started grinding my way through, unlocking the stuff.
And then what did I say to you? Stop, because it's a grind and I'm done. I'm not
And
getting
there's
there.
a grind with maxing out your character levels,
Yeah.
which, you know, as you develop each character, whether it's Varl, Aloy, Aaron, you get, you know, better stats or hidden stats almost to your character and stuff like
Pointless
that.
stats.
Yeah, depending on how you're playing.
But
But
you can't get it gradually in the game, which is frustrating because if a kid's playing this game, like my daughter,
Mm.
that's why I texted you, Steve, and I was like, this trophy, this platinum is garbage. It's a garbage platinum. Like, I think that is too much of a grind to go get. I think that is for a kid's game. That's a little bit of a BS, especially because you can't to go back and do those, like to go back and do it. It is literally a grind. You're like literally playing. I finished it in just over what 6.5 hours, 7 hours with my daughter. To get that platinum, I thought, okay, I'll put an extra 3 hours on my own. And then I'm like, no, it's going to be like another 10 hours to go get that platinum.
let's explain, because yeah, by the time you get through it, you go through all the levels, unlock all the different areas of Mother's Heart, and by the end, you get like these more longer section, like long drawn out sections that then you have to replay over and over and over, just to accumulate enough money to and level your characters up to get to max level. And that's when I started, all the pieces, pun intended, all the pieces kind of started clicking together. I was like, oh, these are just kind of wash and repeat sections of a map, that kind of, and that's where I was like, okay, now this is just wearing thin on me. But going through the story and everything, I didn't really mind the level design. Matt, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was I just thought it was boring. Like I just thought
Yeah.
that the inherent flow of it was just missing the creative like Lego charm that I think these games can be known for. I just think that like each each like biome to biome, sure, it is visually different, but the structure of each one of these levels not never, very seldomly changes. It doesn't really do anything interesting at any point in time. It's fun run and gun, and like that's all you're going to get out of it. And if you're okay with that, and again, I enjoyed it until I kind of like, okay, there's another zip line to another combat encounter, to another door, to another combat encounter, to another door, to another jump. And I found that it started to wear on me much faster, given that, again, like even though it's only like 6 hours, I was feeling it by like the back half of the game where I'm kind of like, there's nothing. Once you've done the first world, the game will not surprise you
No, yeah.
from that point on. It won't.
Well, it's funny. One of my daughter's comments about level design stuck in my head because we were building, because it's a Lego game, right? So when you see the master builder stuff, to build stuff, because that's what they're shiny and they're glowy. That's, she calls it master builder from the Lego movie. Anyways,
Okay.
that's the thing the kids say about Lego. But we were building them, and she realized that all they did was give us coins,
Yeah.
but they didn't really
Yeah.
do anything. They didn't do anything for the levels. So as we were progressing, I was like, "Oh, we've got to stop," because I'm like, you got to do everything on the level type guy. And she's like, "Well, Daddy, we don't have to do those."
There's no
She goes,
point. Yeah.
She said, "There's no point to them."
Mhm.
And I was like, "That's sad," because like they weren't. I was like, "Well, no, you build them and get coins." She's like, "Yeah, but they don't build anything that matters." I was like,
Yeah.
good point. It's not like they build like a statue of a. They don't do anything like that. It didn't add to it. Usually, when you build in a Lego video game, it adds to the level to get somewhere.
Mhm.
Yes, we would build a bridge when we're in the cauldrons, but that's about it. And the cauldrons at least had puzzles that were.
Those were fun enough.
You
Yeah.
know what they actually reminded me of? They really reminded me of Halo, Halo Infinite with the power cells. It was driving me insane, but it was just a little thing there. But I just thought it was very interesting when you're talking about the level design that my daughter thought the Lego aspect of it, of the building, was pointless.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish there was something tied to them a little more, of going through, finding these side areas, side paths to go down, and then all of a sudden, you know, you find a totem or something that you can build, get some aside from some extra
And the reason
studs.
I mentioned those red bricks, and I think that's part of level design in the Lego games, they give you their red bricks turn into cheat codes.
Yep.
So the fact that we couldn't get 3 times the studs, because that would help you actually level up your character. Like, they don't give you those things that Lego games give you. So, like, when we collected all the red bricks, my daughter was walking around Mother Earth, and she's like, "No, it has to be here." Like, she's going into the costume area. She's going into, like, the level. She's like, "No." She's like, "We're just not seeing it." because she's played all these Lego games. And then she goes up to the board and she goes, it was, she was like, really? This is it? I was like, I guess so. And she's like, all right, well, I guess we're done. And I'm like, she didn't think because they weren't giving her all those like fun things that you get from the red Lego bricks. She's like, well, what's the point of going on in this game? If you're just going to level up your character, she doesn't get the dopamine hit from a trophy. So she's like, whatever. She didn't, she's already
What a poor
unlocked it.
sucker. What a poor sucker. Oh my God.
Like she thought it was great that you could change the world at Mother Earth and like decorate it as much as I didn't. She thought that was cool. But after once you buy everything, she's like, okay, she was like, oh, okay, I'm done. All right, I'm moving on. I don't think for a kid's game, there was no replayability.
See,
if you're making it a kid's game,
I find that interesting because I feel like everything that you do at Mother's Heart, from a surface top level perspective, I really think that there's something interesting there where it is go in, customize it, build it out and stuff like that, interact with it. Like one of the surprises to me in this game was like, oh, build the rocket ship. I was like, oh, that's funny. And then you go to the community board and there's little challenges that you can complete in the game. And one of them was, oh, throw another figure onto the rocket. I was like, oh, you can interact with every single one of these. And I just thought that was like an endearing kind of way to create a hub world, make it your own, tailor it. Not saying that everyone's going to be into that or want to invest a lot of time into it, but I think that it's just another layer outside of it being a Horizon game that you can kind of interact with the game.
But there wasn't enough of it.
Yeah,
so
that's my thing.
Yeah,
and it's like once you do it once, every time you do it after that, it's the same thing.
Totally.
Right? It's like there's no difference to what you're doing. It's like it's like the street lamps and the houses, and that's all you can really.
You've got your 3 biomes, but you can even change those and turn them all to Lego City throughout the land. They're all the same biome.
So I feel like I think I'm sounding more negative about this game than I'm trying to be, because I did like it. I just think that like what you see is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what people need to take away from it, and that will resonate more deeply than to others.
It captured my daughter's attention until we finished it. She didn't want to stop playing it. Like I remember I messaged both you guys. It was like, she doesn't want to stop playing this game. Like this was the first game since Astro that she was like, she wants to play it. But she still goes back and plays Astro. She hasn't said, let's play Lego again. She's still like, today she played Astro. Like that. They brought out 2 good games in a row. I think this is a very good family fun game. You can play it with your kid and enjoy it, but I don't have any replayability in this game.
I do want to give this game kudos for the combat. Specifically, Matt, you kind of touched on it, using the focus and learning about the different weak points on some of these machines. And I think training a brand new audience to conceptualize that as a gameplay mechanic, I think is a very brilliant way of executing on it, especially within a Lego game of go through, scan each one, figure out with the little raptor looking guys, if you shoot them straight on in the mouth, that's like a one hit kill. And like just breaking down the larger like crab enemies going around the back. I think it's just a really inherently smart way of going about it. So I think that the translation between going from a core Horizon game down to a Lego game, I really want to give Studio Gobo a real kudos for that one, because that to me felt like the most challenging aspect of bringing a Horizon game and distilling it for a wider audience.
I have to 100% agree with you. I love the fact that the same weak spots, because I was literally playing Horizon Zero Dawn, because I said to Matt, I was like, I was playing it, and then we kept getting all these games, and I said to Matt, I'm like, I'm not stopping. Like, I'm really enjoying my time with it. So I was like, I'm going to finish it. And even when I got the PlayStation 5 Pro, I'm like, I'm just going to keep playing Horizon. So I thought it was really cool that the exact same weak spots from the enemies or the machines in the game are the exact same ones in Lego. I thought they did a very good job of that. So like for someone that has played that game and they're playing with their kid, you automatically know how to defeat each machine, which is very cool. I just thought it was frustrating that the first time I'm in the grass there, which I thought they did a very cool animation of showing you.
It was cool, yeah.
I couldn't stealth kill. Like there was no silent takedown, and I was like, oh, like come on. But I will say this, from a creativity standpoint, this had my daughter wondering how she can make the water. Like you guys talked about the water, and I thought about this while you guys said it, and I forgot to bring it up at the time. But my daughter spent the whole time going on YouTube after trying to figure out how to make that water effect with her Lego.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
So it brought out the creativity in her, and she's back into her Lego again. Like that's what happens because it's so expensive and you're not going to buy it all the time, Dan. So, but after playing this game, she went down and wanted to play with it more. Like I said, it's a very good kids game.
Yeah.
It is. It's a good kids game.
Well, I think that's a great chance to just kind of do final thoughts here as we wrap things up. Court, we'll start with you. We'll go around the horn. Final thoughts on Lego Horizon Adventures.
It's as a parent, I'm very happy that Sony has, as much as I would love my single player campaigns, I'm happy Sony's last 2 releases have been something that I can share with my kid. She's at that age where she's getting into video games more and more. I would say if you have a kid between the ages of 8 to 14, I would say this is a no-brainer. You'd have a lot of fun playing with your kid, and it's something you guys can do together. And being a parent, you look for things that you can do with your kid, and this is something you can enjoy with them. You can look past the parts where you're like, the level design is a little the samey, but just think about it. Our kids can watch the same video over and over again on YouTube. But I just think
Bluey.
yeah, exactly. Anything, man. She's watching Minecraft videos over and over now. I just think they did a very good job of making it family friendly. I just wish there was more to it. There wasn't enough substance, and I just don't think it has the replayability that it should, especially for a kids game. That's all.
Matt, how about yourself?
Yeah, I think it's like I said, I think it's all right. I think the combat's great. I think I like as much as like the back and forthness of the story. Like I did enjoy parts of it. I did enjoy the takes on some of these characters. Even like again, I enjoyed playing through it. The co-op's great. The different all the characters play differently, which is awesome. Again, like Court said, I just wish they did more with it. I wish they got more creative, even with the little that there was there. Because I feel like I think it's an all right game. It's great for families, it's great for co-op, but I think that like for Horizon fans that might be coming into this, I don't know. Like for newer fans, for younger fans, for people who are looking for an entryway, I think this is great. But for a lot of Horizon fans, unless you're like a capital F fan, your mileage may vary.
Yeah. For me, I think, like I said, this is a great Lego game. I think this is a great representation of what Lego games can be in the future. If it's more streamlined, it doesn't overburden you with content and make it feel like you have to spend on 120 hours within a single title. But that being said, I was really disappointed with the Horizonness outside of the combat and some of the fidelity of it all. But yeah, I'm just as someone who loves Horizon, loves Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, coming into this and trying to see what their take on adopting the themes and the characters and everything. I was just thoroughly disappointed getting to the end and be like, we're not even telling a story that even tries to engage a brand new audience. We're kind of just it felt like we're dangling keys in front of them and be like, this is silly, isn't it? And I don't really know if we're looking at evolving the IP and getting it in front of more people, I just don't know if that's the approach I would have taken. But that's just a humble guy's opinion, a 34-year-old's opinion on it. I don't know. But that being said, I think if you're looking for something like you guys have said, something family friendly, something to get in with, a son, a daughter, someone who doesn't play games traditionally, I think this is a very approachable game, which I can respect. But outside of that,
it's a good Switch game. I forgot to add that. I think
oh my goodness, yes.
I think it's a perfect Switch game.
I kind of regret not playing it on Switch, but I gotta get those trophies, I gotta. But that all being said, PlayStation generation, the guys, thank you guys for hanging out with me on this evening. Matt, where can people keep up with you online?
Yeah, you can find me at Matt Silversoul in all the places, and you can find us on PlayStation Generation each and every week, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Come hang.
Come hang indeed. And Core, when you're not stuck in a Turkish gulag, where can people keep up with you?
You can find me on socials at Court Lalonde. I think that's even that on like everything, even on the new one, the Bluesky or what everybody's going with. But that's where you can find me. You can, and soon, trust me, soon I'll be back on PlayStation Generation. We're already making it work. It's already coming together.
Hot scoop for Creature Cast. Love it. And you can find me across the internet at SVigvar, and we appreciate you all for tuning into this episode. And we'll be back with more video game discussions down the road. We'll see ya. Bye.
Peace.